In this episode, we went on the Disney Wish, and we are going to talk about the pluses and the minuses of the Disney Wish. We are Emma and Jack Lindsay. Together with our daughter, we love to travel and experience different places. How we get there and what we do is always different. Life is too short, so get out and live a little. I want to start off with that I feel very lucky that we were able to do this trip as a family and have this opportunity. And this was our very first Disney cruise, and I did go into it putting it at like the level of Disney. I've been to Disney World a bunch of times. I've been to Disneyland Paris. I've done Disney. So that was the standard that I was holding this cruise at.
You've done Disney.
Our cruise was at a capacity of 3,500 and the total capacity for the ship is 4,000. So we were really close to capacity. Okay, we're going to give you our honest review of this trip.
The positives and the negatives.
There was both.
There was a lot of both.
So, first off, we loved that when you got on the ship, they announced your family. We just thought that was a really fun touch. Most cruise ships, you just kind of walk on and just do whatever. But Disney, you walk on and they were like, now welcoming the Lindsay family. It was just fun. And I also liked that they gave you a wand, which was super cool and very fun for kids. Our daughter loved the wand, and I thought it was pretty fun too.
And they used the wand throughout the cruise for different events.
Yes. And then also when you get on, you get your wand, and then they do like a tiny little show, which was kind of just like a fun welcome to the cruise. Next up, the ship was beautiful. The design of it was gorgeous. They really, truly executed every space very well. It was very pretty.
It felt very upscale.
It did.
The design.
It did. And there was a lot of like different themed areas, so it kind of made it a little bit more exciting when you went to the next area. They did a nice job on that. Next up is the characters.
This is all you.
This was probably my favorite part just because of our daughter. The pure and utter excitement that just radiated off of her every time that she saw one of the characters was like the cutest thing ever. And I liked how they kind of just walked around and you just turn a bend and all of a sudden there was another character. And they also did have like lines where you could wait to see a character, but also ones walking around. Where if you're at actual Disney, now you can only do the line version, and a lot of times they're like in a section that you can't see them if you're just walking by. So it was nice, especially with an almost 2-year-old. There was no way we were waiting on a line to see a character, so to like just round a bend and see one was fun.
No, she basically just tried to squeeze into other people's photos.
Well, that is true. She didn't understand that there was a line. She'd just be like, oh, characters! So that was fun.
So in the rooms, all of the Disney movies are on Disney Plus on your TV for free. So like if you've never had Disney Plus, it's great.
It wasn't fully on Disney Plus, but it was a bunch of Disney movies.
It was Disney Plus.
It was?
Yep.
Because there was some that we couldn't get.
I am correct in this one. So if Emma cuts this part of it, just know that I am correct. It was Disney Plus.
But you had a bunch of Disney movies, which was really fun.
Yes.
Especially for kids. Shows at night. They were really fun. They were fun for kids.
Yes.
They were very, very good. I mean, they kept our daughter entertained for almost the entire thing. They would range from like 35 minutes to 45 minutes, I think. And for an almost 2-year-old to sit through something for that long is pretty impressive.
And they're different each night.
Yes, they were. They were different shows every single night, different themes. They were definitely fun. I would definitely recommend them. Okay, another fantastic thing, especially if you have a kid, is that in every room there was a tub. I cannot tell you how many trips we've gone on when there is no tub, and to try and bathe your daughter in the sink or attempt to hold her for the shower is not fun. Having a tub is a deal breaker with a little one. And also, in my opinion, I think the showers were the best showers that I've ever had on a cruise ship. The like water pressure was awesome and they were visually pretty.
Really the best on any cruise ship we've ever been on.
Maybe not the Haven, but it had really good water pressure. For a basic balcony room, it was definitely the best shower.
Yes.
Okay, next up, the cafes. If you go to get a cup of coffee, They will do some fun coffee art stuff, which is really, it was just a fun touch.
And not just on coffee. For little kids, they'll do hot chocolate with.
They will do hot chocolate. And then I also got a cocktail that had the art on top. So it's just kind of like a fun little nice little touch.
If you're looking for a gift for us, this coffee art thing, we would really appreciate it.
It was really fun. Okay, next one. Not sure if this is a good or bad thing, but this is definitely the first cruise that I have lost weight on.
This is tied to the bad.
Yeah.
But I guess it's good for you.
I mean, it's a good thing. Okay, Hyperspace
Come on,
Lounge.
let me take this one. You don't really care.
Okay, go.
The Hyperspace Lounge is pretty awesome.
Visually, it's really very cool. There are a total of 7 screens behind the bar, and 2 of them are deep space. Not too sure what that actually truly means, because I'm not a Star Wars fan, but visually, it was cool.
Emma has no idea what she's talking about. It's cool. It's like the Star Wars show. You go to hyperspace, so you're on the ship, they press the button, you're in hyperspace, so then you go to deep space. That's what she meant to say. But yes, it's cool.
It's cool. Another plus for Disney Cruise was that the app was very helpful in the sense that you could message back and forth if you were on the ship. So like if he went with Poppy somewhere, I could message him as like a text and he would get it. And we did not pay for the internet or anything. This was just through the app.
And now the con.
So the first con is sadly the food.
This was the worst part of the entire trip.
It really was, because it made my stomach hurt almost every single night. You would get the food and it was never hot. It wasn't cold, it was kind of somewhere in the middle. And you could never tell if it was just sitting for too long or what. It just was never that good, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was bland. It was not good.
And to add to that, my biggest complaint of the entire cruise was that one night we got a corn dog for our daughter and the breading on the corn dog was not cooked fully. It was raw. I mean, and for a kid, that is really bad. And Disney didn't seem to care too much to do anything to really fix that. Or they also said that they were going to come and check on us the next night to make sure that everything was better, and they kind of avoided us like the plague. Like the servers were good and fine, but I would say definitely not as good as some other cruise ships that we have been on. It was really pretty disappointing.
The best meal we had was the buffet the first day.
The buffet and the barbecue place.
Yep.
Like anything up on the like pool deck area was actually really surprisingly very good.
So the Disney cruise is a very kind of ambiguous cruise, like who their demographic is going for. And we kind of felt like this in a restaurant was like a portrayal of this exact issue.
For example, Arendelle, it seemed like they had thought of what the restaurant was going to be after the fact, and everything was very tight. It wasn't very easy to see the stage. We were put like way in the back. And the only way I could even see anything, granted, I'm 5 feet tall, I'm not very tall, but I could only see something if I like stood up. Otherwise, I couldn't see a darn thing in the show.
Hold on a second. Don't you want to tell everyone you're 5'3/4"
Just a little bit taller than 5 feet. But we have an almost 2-year-old. So if I couldn't see anything, she sure as heck couldn't see anything. And I felt like looking around, there was a good amount of tables that were like right up front that were just adults. And I was kind of confused by that. In my head, the show is for the kids, which I know may be a very controversial statement, but I think it's for the kids. And that was a big flaw in my eyes.
Another thing to mention was even in some restaurants, you shared a table with another family. And in our case, that family didn't speak English.
This one's all Jack.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. There's no drinks package, so every drink is like $15.
At least.
Yeah.
It can go up from there.
We like to have glasses of wine throughout the day, my champagne mimosa in the morning, but not for the price.
Yeah. There was not even an option of a drinks package.
There is options that like at the bars you can get like 5 or 6 beers for a discounted price, but then you have to lug a cooler around with beer when you're walking around, which isn't the most appealing thing to do. But there is that option.
Okay, the next one is that the ships just kind of felt crowded. Like the flow of the ship didn't seem ideal, I guess. And you'd get to a lot of spaces and it was like overly packed. And it was just, I don't know, that kind of hinders the experience a little bit, especially after COVID. There's sometimes you're like, okay, just back up, give me a little space, like a little too close.
Yeah, we expected it to be the most crowded because it was the fullest ship we'd been on. But it just felt like compartmentalized, it felt like an old house, which like had different rooms and they all tied together, but they were all small at that point. That's how I felt.
That's a good explanation. Okay, their app. I know previously I had said that it was good. It's great for messaging between each other, but that's about it. It was kind of hard, it was hard to navigate. And one of my biggest complaints about it was that there was a thing in there where you could contact guest services instead of having to wait in the line for guest services. Well, I waited for like over 2 hours, jumped multiple places, like almost made it, then jumped all the way back to the top, and it didn't work. And then I happened to go up to guest services, and at that point there was no line at all. And their response to me was, yeah, what a surprise, it didn't work. And I was like, that's not quite the response. Like I would have expected more of a, I apologize, I'm sorry, not like a laugh in your face kind of answer.
Yeah, so to summarize, if you have a guest services issue, just go wait in the line because it's quicker than the app.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all. It seemed to be very hard to get reservations for a lot of things, no matter what it was. If it was the specialty dining restaurants, the lounge, the Hyperspace Lounge, which I believe you do not need a reservation for anymore, luckily. It just seemed like there wasn't enough space for what everybody wanted to be able to do. So that's a downfall.
All right, so I'm the financial guy here. What I didn't like is, I understand it's Disney, so I expected to spend more money. When I did the math on it, for the 3-night cruise we went on, it was the exact same price as us doing the Haven to Alaska, so per night. So it's very tough for me to think that it's worth the money for what you get.
And we just had a basic balcony room, so like your entry-level balcony room on the Disney. When you compare it that way,
it was eye-opening.
Yeah. It didn't seem like it was worth the money at the end of the day for something like that. Okay, this is the design of the Disney Wish.
This is a very big negative if you're handicapped or you have
a stroller,
accessibility issues, or a stroller. There's only 2 elevator bays. One's in the front and one's in the back, and not all of them go to every floor. So if you get on an elevator, and if you're on a cruise ship, you know that you probably have to wait for an elevator. You may get on one that doesn't go to the floor you need it to go to. So you have to get off and then get on another one.
It was mostly just for the higher floors. Not all of them went up all of the way. But yeah, that was an issue. And then even once you did get on it, they were very small and narrow. So if you had a handicapped or a stroller, it was like you can maybe fit 4 more people in. Otherwise, you were like really, really tight.
We ended up just carrying the stroller up and down the stairs.
We did. Okay, so we personally don't usually spend too much time at the pool, so this one didn't affect us.
If you couldn't tell, I'm pale and a ginger, so it's not the best.
But if you are a pool goer, this is something that I've read, and I think this is a really big, humongous design flaw. You need water shoes, because if you get out of the pool and you walk on any of the decks, they are so hot that people are getting blisters. Like, little kids getting blisters on their feet because they're running out of the pool to go get a towel or whatever. That's an issue. Okay, next one.
This is all you.
This is all me because Jack did not partake in this. I went to the pirate show, which was the fireworks and everything at night. It was good. I think it was way too late. I think they need to either do 2 shows or figure out a way to do it earlier. All of the kids that I did see that made it to it kind of just looked like dazed over zombies. It didn't start till I think 10 o'clock, which was really late for little ones.
This goes back to, we don't know what Disney Cruise is designed for, because
we'll get into that in another point. And the fireworks show kind of just felt like your local 4th of July fireworks. I kind of in my head had more of the like Disney fireworks, and it was nowhere close. Again, I understand we're on a boat at sea,
ship,
but I don't know, make it shorter and make it a little more impressive. I don't know. It was just a little, and also any of the kids that were leaving the pirate show were kind of like, oh, that was fun, but I didn't know any of those songs. They were all like classic rock songs and all older songs. So the kids were completely lost on all of the songs. This one, I personally think is a humongous flaw on the Disney Wish, and I really hope that they figure it out and get it under control. Hair products like curling iron, straighteners, things like that, they're not seeming to work on the cruise ship, which is an issue, and you'd think, not the biggest issue. But think if you were going on this cruise and getting married on the ship, and you brought a curling iron or whatever to do your hair, and it doesn't work. What the heck do you do then? It's your wedding day. Like, you want your hair to look perfect. And
like mine, always perfect.
And the other thing too is I've also seen instances where people have brought their fancy curling irons or straighteners or what have you, plug them in, they don't work, and they think, oh, well, I guess it broke. Threw it away, went home. Now, could you imagine if you just chucked your very expensive curling iron or what have you, or your Dyson hair
I can't
thing?
imagine it at all.
I'm sorry, but that would piss me off if I realized that it actually wasn't broken and I threw it away. That would just be really, really, really sad. So they need to figure out that wiring and get it fixed.
Okay, last point. I'm super confused. Like half the ship was like adults only. That's how it felt. It probably
wasn't half
the ship, but that's how it felt. Like the back
half of the top was predominantly.
The aft of the ship, the like top 3 floors of the aft of the ship were adult only.
Top 2, but yeah, there's 2 specialty dining, which in my opinion was kind of a shame because I would have definitely gone. But then to add the fact that I'm paying more for the meal and then that I would have to pay to put our daughter in the nursery, like that's kind of a flaw to me. It just seemed like there was so much more adults only areas than any other cruise ship we've really been on.
We actually brought Poppy to an adults only area, not knowing it's adults only,
By mistake.
And got kicked out.
Yeah. I mean, they were kind of nice about it, but
the way we would look at it is like Norwegians for like older kids and adults. Like Royal is more geared to like your middle-aged kids, younger kids, and families. Like Viking is adults and they want secluded adult trips. But like Disney, it's kind of like,
I think of Disney as kids.
Yes, so did
100%.
I until I got on the cruise ship.
Yeah, there was a lot more. I don't know. Like it just seemed weird. Like. To take up that much space on a ship, though, for something that I feel like predominantly is meant for children.
Yeah, they were beautiful. The restaurants are beautiful. Like, we would have definitely ate at them if Poppy could come.
And we could have gotten a reservation. Well, we could for night, but we only were there for 3 nights and wanted to experience the 3 options that they have on the ship.
And the question that everyone has been waiting for. Will we do another Disney cruise? No.
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think so, which is a shame, but that's kind of how we felt.
One more bonus pro that I think should be mentioned is that Disney did a fantastic sail away party, and I would highly recommend making sure that you don't miss that if you go on a Disney cruise.
If you've liked this video, can you please like and subscribe? It helps us out so much. Thanks. Till next time, get out and live a little, guys. Bye.
Cut. Who knew Disney was a weight loss cruise?
Just gonna wait for that to go.